Hey, gossip aficionados. Ready to dig into some hot and trending political drama? Today, we are diving into the controversies surrounding none other than Joe Biden himself. From recent buzz about Ukraine to eyebrow-raising plagiarism issues from decades past, Joe's got a history that reads like a political potboiler. So grab your popcorn, and let's delve into three of Joe Biden's biggest scandals, each more tantalizing than the last.
Mr. President, after everything we've seen, are you ready to call Putin a war criminal?
No.
Let's start with the buzz that's got everyone talking right now, the Ukraine scandal involving Joe Biden and his son Hunter. This one is really interesting because of all of the new developments that have taken place these past few weeks. Hunter's lucrative gig with Burisma, a Ukrainian energy company, incredibly, started while his dad was vice president. Critics couldn't believe the conflict of interest, with Joe Biden accused of pulling strings to protect Hunter. The scandal deepened when Biden pushed for the removal of a Ukrainian prosecutor, allegedly to shield Burisma from scrutiny. Joe's attempts to explain his actions as being in line with U.S. policy fell on deaf ears for many, who saw them as a blatant abuse of power. Political opponents jumped at the opportunity to accuse Biden of using his office for personal gain, feeding the narrative that his family's ties to foreign businesses created a serious ethical dilemma. The controversy became a political lightning rod, raising questions about corruption, transparency, and the lengths to which politicians will go to protect their interests. Despite the denials and spin, the saga remains unresolved, with both critics and supporters poring over the details to find the truth behind Biden's motivations. The Ukraine scandal continues to be the stuff of tabloid headlines, reminding us that even the highest office isn't immune to whispers of misconduct and impropriety. Next up is the Anita Hill testimony from 1991, a moment that continues to haunt Joe Biden's political legacy. As chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee during the confirmation hearings for Supreme Court nominee Clarence Thomas, Biden oversaw Anita Hill's testimony, where she accused Thomas of sexual harassment. Critics slammed Biden for his poor handling of the situation, accusing him of allowing aggressive questioning of Hill without adequately defending her or giving her additional support. To make matters worse, Biden denied other witnesses the chance to corroborate Hill's claims, which many saw as a failure to provide a fair platform for her story. His mishandling of the proceedings drew widespread condemnation from women's rights groups and others who felt he let down Hill, and, by extension, countless other victims of harassment. It was a glaring example of how political interests overshadowed justice, leaving a lasting stain on Biden's record.
That intense pressure from this group of...
Even after decades, Biden's role in this scandal still stings, particularly in the era of #MeToo. Although he's tried to make amends and has since acknowledged Hill's courage, many still view his actions, or lack thereof, during the hearings, as a sign of complacency and insensitivity. This episode remains a dark chapter that continues to shadow his career.
Well, it just seems...
Last but certainly not least, let's rewind to 1987 when Joe Biden's presidential campaign came crashing down over some serious plagiarism issues. Biden was riding high on the campaign trail when journalists discovered that he had lifted entire portions of a speech from British politician Neil Kinnock without proper attribution. Biden didn't just use the words, he also borrowed Kinnock's anecdotes as if they were his own, a move that didn't sit well with the press or the public. As reporters dug deeper, it became clear that this wasn't a one-off mistake. Biden had a history of borrowing others' work, including instances during his law school years when he was accused of plagiarism in an academic paper. This pattern of questionable behavior painted Biden as unoriginal at best and dishonest at worst, putting the final nail in the coffin of his 1988 presidential bid. His campaign imploded, leaving Biden to retreat from the national stage in disgrace. The plagiarism scandal remains a blemish on his record, illustrating how even the most seasoned politicians can falter under the weight of their own ambition. It's a stark reminder that in the world of politics, your words need to be just that, your own.
Donald Trump. Did you see what he recently said about he wants to see the economy?
So, there you have it, 3 of Joe Biden's biggest scandals laid bare. From Ukraine to plagiarism, each episode reveals a different layer of political intrigue that's as fascinating as it is controversial. Whether you see Biden as flawed or simply caught in a media frenzy, one thing's for sure, his career has been anything but boring. Stay tuned, because the political arena always has more gossip to offer.
But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe, as I will continue posting only the best celebrity and K-pop content.
They call Biden Way now, they renamed it.
This was Watch Wave, and until next time, have a good one.
Now our great speaker, our partner, who all of these bills...
And I don't want to, well, maybe choose my words. With some movement, there's been a response from there's been a response. Yes, I'm sorry, from Hamas.